MediEvil is a horror-themed action-adventure hack-and-slash about a skeleton warrior who has to make his way through levels, killing monsters to try and stop an evil sorcerer from taking over the land. But will he be able to prove himself as a hero of the people?
Good God, Fortescue, what's happened to your jaw?
Despite the fact that gameplay here is really simple, with button mashy combat, easy puzzles and platforming, which I'll get to in a bit, the game does a great job of keeping things exciting by always bringing something new to the table. Every level and every environment's unique, complete with its own set of new enemies, but more importantly, new things to do. For example, one level may introduce a kind of horde mode, one may be more about doing puzzles, one may not let you kill any of the townsfolk, so it's more about avoiding enemy. My point is, you never feel like you're doing the same thing too often. It always has this great light-hearted horror atmosphere that's fun for players of all ages. It's like riding on a ghost train or going through a haunted house, and it comes complete with its own set of zombies, ghosts and witches. And one thing that does really help to set this tone is the music. The game's got a great soundtrack that's the perfect blend of horror and fantasy. Although there isn't a sound in the game that's quite as nice to hear as the sound of that health fountain. As is so often the case, comedy goes hand in hand with the horror here. On the one hand, you have the horror, which comes in the form of a lot of really creepy but creative, weird enemy designs. Sir Daniel Fortescue himself has a great design with his one eye and missing jaw and goofy smile, which leads us on to the other hand, where you have the comedy, which usually comes from the other characters in the game.
But I said to him, I said, "You can't touch me, you lanky windbag, I'm the mayor." Aye, that told him.
It's pretty clear that the voice actors could have some real fun here and ham it up and go as over the top as possible.
The master meets with the demon from the mausoleum, hatching plots of purest evil.
People say to me, "Stungard, what do you think of this sword or that axe?" But I say to them, "Nein! Modern warfare is a question of science, the science of shields."
But nowhere's this better demonstrated than in the Hall of Heroes. Each hero statue that you talk to has their own distinct European accent, as well as their own weapon, which you can earn. But how do you go about doing this? Well, for each level, on top of finding the exit, there's also a hidden Chalice of Souls to collect. These can only be obtained, however, when enough enemies are killed. But on top of that, there's often also some kind of puzzle or side quest to complete in order to unlock them. So they're really a reward for players who are willing to put a bit more work in. And it's worth it, because they can then be handed in at the Hall of Heroes for some kind of reward. But I do think the game has one major flaw, and to be fair, this is a problem that a lot of early 3D games had. Platforming. Just a few simple mistakes with the controls and you'll lose all of your health in no time, at least in a lot less time than the zombies could ever do it in. And nowhere is this made more obvious than the ghost ship level. This combination of platforming and regenerating skeleton pirates makes it by far the hardest level in the game. The problem is that you're so often fighting against the camera and struggling to gauge any sense of depth. Even when you beat the level's boss and see the ending in front of you, you still don't have the chalice yet, and so have to go back through the assault course. And if you die, it's game over and you'll have to start the level again. So your hands are sweating, you're on edge. Please don't make a mistake now. You take baby steps to line everything up and... Honestly, if there's one thing that I hope for in the upcoming remake, it's that the platforming is better so I don't dread the levels with excessive jumping in. But other than that, there's not a lot I want to see changed. I would recommend playing this game even today. The sound, the voices, the characters are a lot of fun, so with some improved looks and modern controls, hopefully Sir Daniel Fortescue will come back better than ever. So until next time, thanks for watching.